निर्भीक होके योग पथ पे, निर्भीक होके योग पथ पे चलते ही रहेंगे हम। हृदय भरा भरपूर साहस, हृदय भरा भरपूर साहस, इसे न होने देंगे कम, इसे न होने देंगे कम। निर्भीक होके योग पथ पे चलते ही रहेंगे हम। हृदय भरा भरपूर साहस, इसे न होने देंगे कम, इसे न होने देंगे कम। निर्भीक होके योग पथ पे, जब जननी है संग हमारे तो भला क्यों डरेंगे हम। जब जननी है संग हमारे तो भला क्यों डरेंगे हम। भय का अब कोई स्थान नहीं, भय का अब कोई स्थान नहीं। वीर रस का दम है हम, वीर रस का दम है हम। भय का अब कोई स्थान नहीं, भय का अब कोई स्थान नहीं। वीर रस का दम है हम, वीर रस का दम है हम। निर्भीक होके योग पथ पे चलते ही रहेंगे हम। हृदय भरा भरपूर साहस, हृदय भरा भरपूर साहस, इसे न होने देंगे कम, इसे न होने देंगे कम। निर्भीक होके योग पथ पे चलते ही रहेंगे हम।
Namaste, my dear brothers and sisters. The love and blessings of the Mother and Sri Aurobindo to all of you from Sri Aurobindo Ashram Delhi branch. This beautiful short devotional song that you heard in a voice that you are very familiar with by now, the voice of me too, was about fearlessness and courage. The two go together. One can't be courageous without being fearless. And in absolute terms, even if we accept only as an article of faith without necessarily realizing it through an experience, even if we accept it as a matter of faith that all that is the one divine, then we can be fearless, because all that includes ourselves. And if it is all one, whom do we need to fear from? Because fear implies at least two. If there's only one, who is afraid of whom? But then that is something which is sometimes difficult to put into practice. And that is why we then turn to the divine. We know the divine is the one that all is, but still we have a tendency to look at that as our savior, our guide, as the one to whom we can always turn in difficult times when we need courage, courage to face a crisis, or the courage to do what is right. Because doing what is right also takes a lot of courage. When we are surrounded with a lot of negativity, even doing the right thing, even if we are convinced about it, takes a lot of courage. And therefore we turn to the divine to get that courage to feel fearless and do the right thing. But then the divine again sometimes becomes a nameless, faceless, amorphous entity, and we want to see it in a human form, the form that we can relate to. And that's why if the mother is with us, then why do we have to fear? It's something like this, once a child was told not to be afraid at night. God is always with you. God is always there everywhere. But the child still insisted that its mother, his or her mother, should sleep with him The mother was trying to convince the child, why do you have to be afraid? God is there, even at night, even when it is dark, God is always with you. The child said, but mom, I need God with a skin. So we all need a God with a skin, and that's why we turn to a human form like the mother. And that support, the support of the divine, or whoever symbolizes the divine to us, never fails us. That is the only support that is always with us, and that is why we tend to turn to it. And if we turn to it, we need not turn to anybody else. So that was this song about fearlessness and courage. With that, we go to today's session, in which we have the same mother and daughter team, Dr. Surinder Katoch and Dr. Mukta Katoch. And those of you who were not there last time, this is in fact a family of Ayurvedic physicians. Mukta's father is also an Ayurvedic physician and has worked with the WHO and Ayush both, and continues to be there in a senior official capacity. So this is a family which has made a conscious choice to go into Ayurveda, and Mukta is in the new generation that has taken to it in a big way. And of course, she's not a beginner anymore. She has completed her graduation from one of the best colleges in the country in Karnataka, and then done a postgraduate course. And apart from being an Ayurvedic physician, while she was doing her graduation, she proved to be an all-rounder. She was very good at so many other activities, be it music or be it sports or organizing an event. And she did all those things and proved sort of a leader in the college while she was studying there. Her mother, again, has Dr. Surinder Katoch, has vast experience as a faculty member in an Ayurvedic college in Punjab, and then experience at the Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, and after that, in her own clinic, the Katoch Holistic Health Clinic. And we are proud to have her with us in the ashram too for the last more than 10 years. And during these 10 plus years in the ashram, she has established a good Ayurveda unit where, apart from free consultations that she offers, she has also established a unit which offers just about every procedure that is required in Ayurvedic treatment, massage, panchakarma, etc. So with that introduction, we go to today's session, and I pass on to Aditi to conduct the session.
All right, namaste everyone. Welcome Dr. Katoch, welcome Dr. Mukta. We would like to continue from where we left last, discussing about, specifically we were discussing about what to eat and basically diet. Prakriti was the highlight of our discussion last time. Today I would like to ask you to begin with another very important aspect in Ayurveda is about Dincharya. Even Dr. Mukta mentioned last time that how it makes a very important component. So what will be your suggestion to common people like us? Like, how do we understand the concept of Dincharya in Ayurveda, and how to most importantly reconcile it in the current context, like how the modern lifestyle is? So if you can just begin with sharing some thoughts on that. So, yes.
A very good morning to you all. And thank you, Dr. Bijlani, whom now I call him Bhaiya also. So thank you, Bhaiya, for this program, and thanks, Aditi. It's a pleasure to be with you all. And yes, a very good start, which is with the Dincharya. Dincharya is extremely important because there is a phrase, well begun is half done. So therefore, we should always think that our beginning should be good. And as the today bhajan which we were hearing was with the fearless attitude and always having the divine force, divine power with us. So therefore, the first thing when we get up in the morning, before we put our feet on the floor, we should thank the Almighty that we have been blessed with a new day. The first important thing is this. So before putting our feet on the floor, again, thanks to all the 5 elements which are outside, yatha brahmande tatha pinde, whatever is outside, that is inside. So these 5 elements are Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, Prithvi. तो पृथ्वी पर पैर रखने से पहले इन 5 तत्वों को नमन करना चाहिए, because each and every cell of our body is made up of these 5 elements. After that, once we are done with this, then the first thing we need to do is just release all the urges, whichever we are feeling. If we have an urge for urination, go ahead for urination. If we have an urge that some phlegm is coming in my throat, just take it out. Anything in the nose, just take it out. If you have an urge for passing stool, just release that. But the problem which is happening nowadays is that the people don't have an urge for passing stool, but the head is totally in stools. That it is very important to pass the stool in the morning. So they do all sorts of, they undergo a number of parameters. Some will drink a lot of water, some will go ahead for cigarette smoking, some will walk a lot, some will keep on waiting till the stool doesn't come out. So I always say, भाई वो जब निकलना होगा निकल जाएगा, तुम क्यों इतने परेशान हो रहे हो? It is a very natural process. So some people, they start their day with stress of defecation. यहीं से ही सारी काम गड़बड़ हो जाता है, हमारी दिनचर्या ही खराब हो जाती है. So urges should be released in the morning, but all those urges which you are having, no forceful evacuation should be done. जोर लगा के हमें ना तो stool pass करना, no forceful evacuation. So once you are done with the urges, next what to do? Next is danta dhavan, that is brush your teeth. Now again a new concept has come is, before you go to sleep at night, you brush your teeth. Once you get up in the morning, there is no need to brush your teeth. This is not the concept of Ayurveda. Ayurveda starts with this danta dhavan. So we need to brush our teeth in the morning. Brushing ke liye best is, which we used to have in our traditional ancient time, till date also many people do, and that is using of the twigs of plants or trees. Neem ki datun, karanj ki datun. So there are trees whose bark should be used for brushing the teeth. Then is, for brushing the teeth, if that bark is not available, we use toothpaste. Toothpaste also, what should be the quality of that toothpaste? Usually the quality which we have, they are sweet in taste. Colgate karenge, wo bhi meetha hoga. So Ayurveda says, teeth should not be cleansed with something sweet. Therefore, the taste of the toothpaste used for brushing should be of some other taste. What is that other taste? Is Katoch kashai. It should be pungent, it should be bitter, it should be astringent. So therefore, जैसे नीम की टहनी है, that has all these tastes. Similarly, the toothpaste used should have these tastes for brushing your teeth, not the sweet taste. So in common, even for gums, what we say is, if you want to keep your gums healthy, we always say take sarson ka tel and put a bit of salt, sanda namak into it, and with finger just massage your gums. So that gives a good effect on the gums also. So the toothpaste available nowadays which have these types of tastes are the Dabur toothpaste, जिसमें लौंग भी है. So these all are used, and these there are a number of other toothpastes. So one of those is Dabur. So that has lal rang ka, red Dabur toothpaste, that has all these tastes. So these tastes should be used for brushing your teeth. This is there. So after danta dhavan, then is kaval and gandush. Kaval and gandush is, kaval is gargles. So here we are not talking about saline water gargles. Plain water, and just clean all your, with force, just do gargles and try to clean all the spaces in between your teeth with force with that water itself. First clean it and then do gargles. Put your head up and go, oh, this way we do that, do this so that the cleansing happens. So this is cover where we do gargles. Simple hot water can be used. That's it. Nothing else to be used. Then we need to do gandush. Gandush is any sort of oil or ghee with water. So in simple, we say take desi ghee, take ghee and hot water, half teaspoon of ghee in 1/4 glass of water. That should also be hot. Mix it and then keep that water in your mouth and blow your cheeks and hold. This I told, I think, last time also. So you hold that and then throw it. You don't have to ingest it. Just throw it. And then take the remaining half of that ghee plus water, put in your mouth, blow your cheeks, hold it. Maybe for 30 seconds, maybe for 1 minute, as long as you can hold, and then throw it. Now, by doing this much, that is passing the urges, releasing the urges, Dant Dhavan, going ahead with brushing of the teeth, then doing the gargles, the kaval, and the gandush therapy. With this, we start with our oral cavity. After that, we do the nasyam. Nasyam is putting oil in your nose. So 2 drops of that oil in your nose. The commonly used oil is anutel, which is a medicated oil, or else we can also use sesame oil. We can also use coconut oil. Sometimes we also say that if it is summers and it's not very cold, we can use ghee also. Oiling at the nasal level is very important. Now what happens is that these all things what we are doing in our daily regimen, it's a daily regimen every day. Urdhva Jatrugat area. Jatru is this clavicle bone. This bone is called the Jatru bone. Urdhva Jatrugat means the area which is above the clavicle. The functioning of this area becomes normal by doing all these activities. And for the brain also it is said that Sirka, the treatment, any disease we are having at the area above the Jatru, the treatment is the nose. Nasa hi Shirsaha Dwara. So the root is nose. Therefore, we go ahead with this oiling of the nose. So with this we start. This much work we do. This takes care of this area. Then after that, some people, they say that once you get up into these, I'm talking these things also because I see patients and they give us this information. And then they say that Ayurveda talks about it. So I want to clear that also. Some people say when you get up in the morning, directly drink water and all that saliva which you're having in the mouth, that should go back inside. Ayurveda doesn't say this. Cleansing of the mouth is important. It should be cleansed. Now after this, if you want to drink water, you can definitely drink water. And then go ahead for a shower. And before that shower, if it is possible, you go ahead for a massage. And if it is not possible on the working days, directly go ahead for a shower, have a good bath. After bath, keep oil in your bathroom. Keep oil in your bathroom and apply oil on the whole body. The common oil which we can keep is mustard oil. The other oil is the sesame oil. If to some people coconut suits, they can also keep coconut oil. But very commonly used is mustard oil and sesame oil. So these oils you keep in your bathroom. After you have finished with your shower, then apply this oil on your body right from head to toe. And then put more water. Take a bit of more shower and that's it. Then just wipe off and wear your clothes and come out. So this is Snan. Snan is very important. Then go ahead with your daily prayers and your workouts. So if you want to go ahead for yoga, go ahead for yoga. You want to go ahead for meditation, go ahead for meditation. If you want to go ahead for a walk, you go ahead for a walk. Now here comes a contradiction. The contradiction is people usually say that after workout we sweat. What is the use of having bath before? So this is once you have a bath before and you do your prayers, whatever, either you are reading book or you are chanting, whatever, something for making our human life meaningful. That devotional time is supposed to be given after shower. Then go ahead for your yoga. Once you do like this, the flexibility of the body comes and the lightness of the body comes. So therefore, it is better to do like this, that you start your day and all these works with your workout usually should be completed by 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. in the morning. Because when we talk about Dincharya in the Ayurveda, it starts with what time you are going to sleep and what time you are getting up in the morning. In that, for an adult, it is important to sleep for 6 to 8 hours, whichever is comfortable. That has to be there because deprivation of sleep should not be there. And by having that 6 to 8 hours of sleep, the time to get up in the morning is Brahma Muhurat. So Brahma Muhurat is on an average 1.5 to 2 hours before sunrise. So nowadays we have this sunrise maybe around about 5:30 or in between 5:30 to 6. Therefore, meaning the time to get up is round about 4:30 is the time to get up, 4 or 4:30. So once we get up at Brahma Muhurat, then only we have time for ourselves. Then we can use that time to do all these things. But if we will get up after 6 o'clock, then we won't have time for our own self. So I always say that be selfish for your own self, selfish for taking out time for your own self. And that time should be taken out at appropriate time and being close to nature. So when I was at Jalandhar, तो मंदिर में एक भजन लगता था. And that bhajan was that he used to start that bhajan, the Panditji, round about 4:30, 5 o'clock के बीच में भजन होता. And the bhajan was उठ जाग मुसाफिर भोर भई अब रहने कहाँ जो सोवत है जो सोवत है वो खोवत है जो जागत है सो पावत है. तो ये लाइन का बहुत गंभीर मीनिंग है. So here that was an alarm to get up in the morning. So the most important thing is to get up at Brahma Muhurat, then only we have time to do all these things for our own self. So now that Snan is over, even yoga is over, the prayers are over, now starts our Dincharya for the scheduled work, the work profile. In that work profile, the food part is very less before 10 o'clock. Usually people have breakfast maybe in the morning because nowadays for the food is a myth. Lot of myths are coming in front nowadays, which I'll talk once we go ahead with the food part. So food should not be consumed, actual meal, whether you call it breakfast or you call it the first meal. We should not have a proper meal before at least 10 o'clock. Because before 10 is the natural cleansing time. We need to give time to our body for natural cleansing. So therefore, first meal should be considered, should be have after 10 o'clock, not before 10 o'clock. So this much is done. Now in the whole day, whatever work profile you are doing, that whole work profile should be without 10 Papa karmas. In Ayurveda, it is called 10 पाप कर्मों के रहित अपनी दिनचर्या करें. So that means all the karmas which we are doing the whole day, whether it is professional work, household work, any work, all the works should be done without 10 pap karmas. So if I summarize those 10 karmas, that how we should live our day, with what values. So if I summarize that, that can be summarized into the yoga part, the 5 yamas and 5 niyamas. So the whole day, so I always say, when I take a yoga class, I always say to the Lord when we do the starting prayer, मुझे क्षमता दे कि मुझे जिंदगी में 10 रत्न मिले, 10 gems of life. Actually, these are 10 gems, 5 yamas and 5 niyamas. And then we ask from the Almighty, give me the power that I can follow the path of 5 yamas and 5 niyamas. If we follow this, so summary of these pap karmas can be done in the 5 yamas and 5 niyamas, which are ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha, shuchi, santosh, swadhyay, tapa, ishwar pranidhan. So it is always pray to the Almighty. हे प्रभु मुझे शक्ति दे, मैं कभी भी किसी को भी स्वयं को भी कायिक वाचिक मानसिक दृष्टिकोण से हिंसा न पहुंचाऊं. I don't enter into violence. जिंदगी में जो भी हो, जैसी भी परिस्थिति आए, मैं सदैव सत्य का पालन करूं. I always follow the path of truth because I believe truth is God. कभी भी कायिक वाचिक मानसिक दृष्टिकोण से चोरी की भावना मुझ में ना आए. I don't enter into a process of stealing anything of anyone. Aham Brahmasmi, I am a part of Brahma. So please God, give me that power that I develop all the characteristics within me, which are that of Brahma, because I am a part of Brahma. Please give me that power that I don't enter into a habit of collecting number of persons, places, or things. I keep how much is required with me and excess I give in charity. Then again I pray to the Almighty, give me the power that I always remain in cleanliness because I believe cleanliness is next to godliness. Clean mind, clean body, clean environment. Then I also say कि हे प्रभु मुझे शक्ति दे, मैं बहुत बड़े सपने देखूं, जिंदगी में बहुत कुछ कर गुजरने की तमन्ना रखूं, परंतु जो आपने मुझे दिया उसमें संतुष्ट भी रहूं. That is sense of contentment. Regular study is key to success. So give me the power that मैं शास्त्रों का अध्ययन करूं, सद्वचनों को सुनूं, ज्ञान प्राप्त करूं, उस पर एक्शन करूं, समय को व्यर्थ ना गवाऊं. And by this, give me that power that now I can make this human life of mine meaningful. And then is कि ये सब अगर सब कुछ भी I do everything on the right path, but still I may get sorrows in my life, I may get happiness in my life, I may get success in my life, I may get failures in my life, but give me that power कि मैं अपने द्वारा किए गए कार्यों के परिणामों में सम रह सकूं. I maintain the equanimity. And in that, I believe in one thing, जो किछ है सो तेरा, मेरा मुझ में किछ नहीं. इस वाक्य को सदा याद रखते हुए I try to give me that power that whatever I do and whatever the results are, I can surrender everything to the Almighty. Sense of surrender. These all come under 10 karmas. 10 पाप कर्मों से रहित दिनचर्या को करना. Because once we are talking about Ayurvedic Dincharya, Ayurvedic Dincharya is going to take us to a level of holistic wellness, where we need to be physically, mentally, socially, spiritually healthy. So we have to have all these components in our daily routine. Then only we'll have holistic wellness. Otherwise, we'll not have. So therefore, work profile karke, then once you are coming back home in the evening, again take out time for yourself. And that time is now do something of your area of interest. Whether it is music, dance, sports, painting, anything, which should be a free time. There has to be a free time. Or if you are watching television, what television, you are sitting in nature, just sit in nature. There has to be a free time. You cannot be always busy, 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 busy. That is not there. Daily routine में ये जो हम कर रहे हैं, इसी से ही रोग हो रहे हैं. So Ayurveda says there has to be time for yourself and you need to do vyayam, exercise every day. So once now I summarize this dincharya, there is a lot for oiling every day. Oil has to be put in our body every day, should be applied in our body every day. Therefore, it is oil application in the whole body plus head and foot massage. Even if you can't go anywhere, just do it yourself at home. Head and foot massage is very, very important. I was sent by Government of India to Europe. And there I had to, 45 days, I had to teach, I had to generate awareness regarding Ayurveda. This I'm talking about 2008. So in that I had to teach the Panchakarma with the basics which we can do. I had 2 technicians with me. To teach the Ayurvedic Panchakarma massage to the Europeans in the wellness units and the spas, first I took massage on myself to know what they do. The European massage, Thai massage, Indonesian massage, and then the sports massage, American massage, all these I took. The common thing which I found, common thing in all the massages which I found is, nobody did my head massage. Nobody did my head massage. And nobody did the massage of my stomach near the navel area. Nobody, these 2 massages were not done. Oil was not put, even the hand was not put on the head and on the navel area. But the Ayurveda Panchakarma massage starts from head. So when I taught them this, when I just took oil and poured on their head, and there the wording started, wow. They got so relaxed. वहां सबसे ज्यादा प्रोग्राम ही मैंने stress management किया, all under stress. And once that oil was poured, they were totally relaxed. And then this massage started. They were so relaxed. And in yoga it is said, नाभि, सभी नस नाड़ियों का मूल है नाभि. Lot of importance is given to the navel area. So therefore, when we say oiling of the apertures every day, so the ear, the nose, the gandush in the mouth, oiling of the navel area and oiling of the anus area, these all come under our daily schedule. So this basically, and by all means, we need to sleep before 10 o'clock and get up at Brahma Muhurat, and keeping that in mind that average adult sleep is 6 to 8 hours. And for the children less than 16 years or 12 years, it is 8 to 10 hours of sleep. उस हिसाब से रात का टाइम एडजस्ट करें हमें कितने बजे सोना है. This is the basics of Ayurvedic dincharya. Yes, please. Over to Aditi.
Thank you, Dr. Katoch. I would also like to ask you, since you mentioned so much about food, so even if you can speak about the incompatible foods, like we speak about Virud Ahar in Ayurveda. So what should one be aware of and how to go about it? Even if Dr. Mukta can share with us, and then we can take to Dr. Katoch. Yes.
Yeah. So that's a beautiful question. I think this one concept is very, very specific and very innate to Ayurveda, and you don't find it in any other science. So Viruddhahar is a concept which says that any food item, anything that you put inside your body, if it has the capacity to increase the doshas. So we have Vata, Pitta, Kapha doshas. Any food that has the ability to increase the doshas in the body, but not expel them. So what happens is, if the doshas increase in the body and they are not expelled out of the body, they are going to stay in the body, they're going to move around the whole body system, and they are going to cause diseases. So that is where the concept of Viruddhahar comes. Now in Ayurveda, there are 18 different types of Viruddha that have been told, and each Viruddha has examples. We are not going into details of all the 18 types, but one of the major Viruddha that is consumed nowadays is milk. Milk, people consume it in a very wrong way. Okay. So I see patients coming to our clinic, or I'm sitting in OPDs, I see patients. Mostly if you see in the Haryana belt and many other regions, you will find people who consume milk with paranthas. They consume milk with anything that is sour or salty in taste. So this is one major Viruddha, and then these people come with diseases of the gut, they come with diseases of skin, okay, they come with different allergies, okay, and a lot of them are coming with, we have lactose intolerance. That is also one major, I'm putting it in inverted commas because it is more than being a disease, it has become a fad. मतलब it is, people consider कि वो बहुत अच्छे उसमें class में है if they have lactose intolerance and gluten allergy. So these are forms of Viruddha. For example, in milk, milk is supposed to be consumed only with sweet taste. Okay. If you want to get a general understanding, for example, you take milk and you put a few drops of lemon into it. What will happen? वो फट जाएगा, you know, and it will turn into curd. So similarly, when you're putting it inside your body also, you are supposed to consume milk with only sweet taste and not with any other taste, because it is considered as Viruddha and it will lead to disease causation in the long run. Okay. Also for Viruddha, it is not that one day you will have and ekdam se something can happen. It's over a prolonged period of time. There are some food items that can cause sudden reaction in certain prakritis, especially जैसे pitta prakriti है, उनमें they can cause, ekdam se they can cause some problems. But otherwise it is once in a while, if you're taking once in a fortnight or once in a month, it is not going to cause you problem. But over a prolonged period of time, it is going to give you problems. Then another major Viruddhahar that we consume is honey. So what happens with honey is, आजकल Chinese food में you have these honey chili potato. Okay. So what they do is they heat the honey. Heating of honey is another type of Viruddha. Honey disintegrates and it causes problems once it is taken after being heated or after it is consumed with something extremely hot. Okay, because honey in itself is hot in nature. So therefore, honey should never be heated or it should never be poured over something very hot. A lot of people nowadays consume this honey water in the morning. So they take a glass of hot water and they put 1 or 2 spoons of honey into it and drink. According to Ayurveda, it is Viruddha. Okay. And I think these are a few examples. Dr. Katoch, do you want to add any more examples to this?
Yes, please. Very common things which are used nowadays is, in Ayurveda says, cooked and uncooked food. They should not be consumed together. And every day we consume it. And what are we consuming in cooked and uncooked is, we are having salad with food, with cooked food. This is very, very common. And over here, I would like to, whenever I teach anything or speak anything, I always think we should think logically and then enter into whether we accept it or we reject it. So once we have started taking salad with food, from where has this concept come? Have salad with food. This is not an Ayurvedic concept. Now this concept came round about 1 or 2 decades before from the West, where the slogan started, low calorie, low fat and high fiber diet. This concept started, and this concept came from West to India. And once a concept is coming from West to at the global level, it is going. So that means research is happening there. So what was the common food in American diet? Basically, the Western culture food was non-vegetarian food. Then was the bakery products, all types of cookies and breads. Then is cheese, lot of cheese consumption. And then is wine. So in this type of food, if we see, this food has high fat, high calorie, and there is no fiber into it. And then started number of diseases over there like obesity, heart disease, diabetes. So this became all these diseases became very common over there. So then the concept came that we should reduce fats, reduce calories, and we need to add fiber into diet. Now to add the fiber into diet, the concept came of salad. Because they don't have a concept of cooking every day. So the best part is salad is available. So we need to add fiber. So just have different types of leaves and different types of raw vegetables and different types of salads. So this is how the concept started. But we Indians, because whatever comes from West is the best, we have that concept. So we started that and all salad bars opened. But we didn't realize this. What is in our food, which we eat on the daily basis? On the daily basis, we eat dal, roti, sabzi, chawal. We eat dal, we eat vegetable, we eat chapatis, we eat rice. This is a daily Indian traditional food. You go to any state, either of these things will be there. So dal is full of fiber, vegetable is full of fiber, roti has fiber, rice has fiber. And our food, if we are talking about this traditional thali food, this food is not high calories, this food is not high fats. So then why are we following that fiber as salad in our food? This is not the concept. Our food is already rich in fiber if we are taking traditional food, which is traditional thali of India. So therefore, this concept, having cooked and uncooked food, commonly, this is a viruddhahar in Ayurveda and is a cause for production of diseases. This is very, very common, which happens. Then is nowadays is very common that lot of information is there on WhatsApp and Google, and they are our babas and the teachers of today. They will talk of every good thing. This is good, this is good, this is good, this is good. And then comes the concept of multigrain is very good. And multigrain atta, multigrain biscuits, majority of the families in their home, they have multigrain. Multigrain, according to Ayurveda, is again viruddh. Because once we take multigrain from outside, multigrain has a minimum of 5 cereals combination. It's a combination of 5 cereals. हर एक का हीटिंग टाइम, हीटिंग टेम्परेचर कुछ और होगा. कोई ठंडा है तो कोई गर्म है तहसीर में, and they are combining all. And that becomes a cause for production of diseases. Ayurveda combines cereals, but that combination is according to season. Because now the summer season is there, the staple cereal is wheat. If we are talking about wheat, staple is wheat. In that we add one cereal according to season. Like now is a summer season, so we can add barley into it. Jaw dal sakte. Once the winters come, then we add bajra into it. Because jaw is thanda and bajra is garam. So according to season, we are adding one cereal. But once we go to multigrain, it is a combination of 5 grains. And that is very commonly used nowadays. Then the concept which has come up is that tea. Tea may be, we think that black tea is very good. Black tea basically, because again this concept has come from the Western culture, वो बहुत ज़्यादा fats का सेवन करते हैं, so they want something which increases vata. But what we are doing is we are consuming normal food, and along with that we are consuming black tea. And tea is astringent in taste. Tea is bitter in taste. And bitter and astringent tastes increase vata. And we are having that with food or after food. So and the quantity becomes lot. If we want to have pungent and astringent taste, then it is only one clove. You just have one clove, or you have one cardamom, or you have just a bit of fennel. These things will work, but not a mug of black tea. Then that will increase the vata over there. So these are certain combinations which are being used on daily basis, which come under the concept of Viruddha. That's it.
Yes, I have one question for you in terms of Viruddha. Last time you spoke about Satmai food, that if people are eating for a long time a combination, that might start working for them. So usually what happens is, like right now we are listening to all these things, we have lived a certain age. So what if we were doing something wrong and now it is a part of my system and it doesn't bother me anymore? So at what point then I can easily convince myself that I don't want to change because it's a part of my system? So how does this Viruddhahar is harmful or beyond a point because my body is adjusted to it, it doesn't matter to me? So how does one make that distinction?
That, is an important question. I think particularly you can talk in terms of one thing, which is extremely common. At breakfast, as you said, paratha and milk, or something salty and milk. Now, a person might say that, well, I have done it for the last 10, 20 or 30 years. And the person likes it also. So, we have that ingenuity, mental ingenuity to justify what we feel like doing and continuing with. So I've done it for 20 years already. And therefore, it has become satmya for me. So can I still continue eating the salty foods with milk?
So this question is that, yes, satmya is there, but definitely, if we are using sweet with salty, this milk with salty, as I'll give you the example, when I again was at Hungary, so there the most common disease was either stress or allergic conditions. Allergy was very common over there. So I asked them, what is the cause for this allergy? The answer which I got was pollen grains. That it is at particular season, all pollens are there, but we have allergy all 12 months. I ate food over there and there was a soup, which is a staple soup of Hungarians and also of Slovakians. Staple soup. That soup was green in color. And when I asked the recipe, in that recipe it was plants cooked with milk and salt. That was very delicious, very delicious, but it was Viruddhahar according to me, according to Ayurveda. So then I told them, this is very tasty. You all are used to drinking this soup from years together, but at the same time, you all are suffering from allergy from years together. So that means they are drinking that from years together, but actually that does not become satmya. Satmya means there should be not any disease. No disease should be there. So therefore, consuming this and making an excuse that I am using it from 20 years and I am liking it also, and it is not producing any problem to me, but it definitely produces some or the other problem, because I've seen all persons coming with allergic conditions. Whenever I do a detailed history of this, I do find consumption of Viruddhahar in their life. That is definite. And most common is this milk chapter, because some people have khichdi with malai, parantha with malai, the cream, total cream of milk. So either you are using only cream or you are using milk. It's one and the same thing. Curd becomes different. So therefore, definitely we cannot take this as an excuse that I am using it from 20 years. It has become satya, so I am eligible for Viruddhahar. So this cannot be the chapter.
Dr. Mukta, I wanted to know from you, you were talking about milk a lot. And these days we see a lot of people taking to vegan diet. and no milk, plant-based, all of those things. So what is your take on it, and what does Ayurveda say about all these things?
Okay. Another interesting question. I love answering these myths and busting these myths. So, see, when we talk about, firstly, let's answer what is vegan food and whether it is relevant or not. So, when we look at these terminologies, vegetarian and non-vegetarian, these terms came into existence only in the 19th century. Before that, if we see, everything was food. Okay, whether it is veg, whether it is non-veg, everything was food. And in Ayurveda also, a lot of people have this understanding that Ayurvedic diet means it has to be vegetarian or vegan diet. Big no to that, because Ayurvedic diet does not say that you have to consume only plants. The amount of description you will find for animals, for animal products in Ayurveda, for meats in Ayurveda, you cannot find it in any other science. So the thing is that whatever you're putting inside your body, okay, whatever food, whatever drink you're putting inside your body, that has to be based on the outcome that you want from it. Okay, so digestion is seen as a havan in Ayurveda. So when we are doing a havan externally, we are putting some herbs into it for some effect. Okay, similarly, when we are putting something inside our body, we are aiming at a certain effect. Based on that, the diet is advised. So whether it is vegetarian or non-vegetarian, that does not matter. What is the ultimate effect you want from it is the main focus. Okay. And also when we talk of procurement, because a lot of people nowadays, they're going to vegan because they want it to be cruelty free or they don't want to harm animals. If you're looking at it from that perspective also, in the earlier days, whether it was plant or animal, firstly, people consumed very limited. How much was needed for the body? Only that much food was procured. And while procuring food from the plant or the animal, they always bowed down and said sorry, felt sorry, and said that I am consuming you because I need to feed, I need to sustain this body. So for that, I am procuring you. So they said thank you, they said sorry, and then they took the food and ate it, whether it was plant or animal. But nowadays, we're not doing anything like that. And people think that vegetarian khake, they're doing something very great. Well, whether it's a plant or an animal, both are living. It is just that you can see the cry of the animal, you cannot see the cry of the plant. Okay, because we do not have senses developed to perceive that. But whether plant or animal, both of them are living. Both of them are harmed when we cut them, when we are slicing them. So that does not matter. It is ultimately the end effect. Now, coming to milk, that milk, people have started consuming soy milk, almond milk nowadays. If we look at the Ayurvedic perspective of milk, in Ayurveda, there are 8 types of milk that have been explained. And out of all these 8 types, all 8 milks are of animal origin. There is no milk from plant origin. Milk of plant origin, I have not come across in any of the samhitas, in any chapters. And that is because the plant milk, it is heavy. Okay. Now imagine the milk that you're getting from a cow and the milk that you're getting from almonds. Okay. How many almonds do you need to crush to get 1 glass of milk? So you can imagine the amount or the heaviness of that milk. Okay. So that is not advised according to Ayurveda. Yes, nowadays it is gaining a lot of popularity, but whatever Ayurvedic diet we have, it is a little complex in terms of this because it is based on the qualities of the animal. So when we say that the cow's milk is best, okay, that also the desi cow, we say that milk is best. We are saying that on the basis of that cow is going to move around. So whatever milks have been told, it is of animals that are going to move around. Animals that stay at one place, their animal products are heavier to digest, heavier in nature. That's why those animal products are consumed less. Whereas animals that keep moving around, okay, that because their innate nature is that because of their moving around, because of the physical labor that they are doing, their body's digestion will be good and the product that they are making will also be of that quality, and therefore that quality food needs to be consumed. it is not that this animal or this plant needs to be consumed. There is a vivid description about the nature of the animal itself. How should the animal be? How should the animal be behaving? Whether it's a male animal, it's a female animal for animal products, whether it's a child, whether it's a middle-aged animal, old-age animal, what you need to consume. So all these factors we need to keep in mind. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes. So when you talk about this incompatibility, and you also said that we used to pray, and because that is what we need to do for the sustenance of body. But nowadays we just eat because our mind tells us to eat. We have lost that touch with the body that we really need food. So in Ayurveda, what is it suggested? How many times to eat, and how to take food? If you can just let us know that.
Yes, please. Now the question is how many times to eat? Again, there is a lot of myths happening in today's time as to how many times to eat. The knowledge which is prevailing at the present time is that after every 2 to 3 hours, eat something, or the frequency of food should be 4 to 6 times a day. Now, this doesn't go well with the concept of Ayurveda. So there is a phrase, as we said in the last time also, Ek Kal Bhoji is equal to Yogi, Dvi Kal Bhoji is equal to Bhogi, and Tri Kal Bhoji is equal to Rogi. So we are saying Tri Kal Bhoji is equal to Rogi means a person who is eating 3 times a day, that person is liable to have certain diseases. Then what about the person who is eating 4 to 6 times a day? Nowadays, I get patients and those patients think that they are fitness freak persons and their food is excellent. Their style of eating is excellent. And when they come to me and I do the detailing of the food, I feel that this is the worst style of food actually what they are having. What is happening in today's time? I get up in the morning, I have around about 4 to 6 glasses of water. Then I have herbal tea, lots of herbs I use, and I prepare a herbal tea. Along with that herbal tea, I take dry fruits. They are soaked at night. So around about I take 5 to 10 pieces of almonds, 2 walnuts, 10 munakkas, and then I have certain seeds. Then I also make a smoothie of all this, and that is what I have. And then after that, I have fruits, because fruits are very important. They give a lot of vitamins to us. So I have a good platter of fruits. Then I have my breakfast. And in the breakfast, I again have fruits. I have all those seeds and all. I have flakes, I have bread. So number of items will be there in the breakfast. Then again, I have fruits. Then I have lunch. Before lunch, I have a good platter of salad. And then I have lunch. Then after lunch, we have fruits. Then in the evening, we have tea. Along with tea, we have dry fruits. Then I have dinner. Dinner, I have soups, soups. So soups are very good. So I have soups. And then I have the proper dinner. And then before sleeping, I again have some herbal tea. Bhai, sara din khate rahoge kya? The whole day you are eating something or the other. So what is happening is that once we eat, our digestion process starts. Now the digestion process has started. वो बेचारा अभी mid में भी नहीं पहुंचता. You feed something else. So that chaos happens inside. To digest the digestion, to complete the digestion of the food, where the digestion process has already started, or to start the new digestion process. So that whole chaos is inside. And what Ayurveda says is, on an average, for an adult, doing average work, not high vigorous works, not into high vigorous sports, बहुत ज्यादा मेहनत मजदूरी जो नहीं कर रहा है, the type of people we are sitting here in this forum. So we are persons who are doing average work. So for average work, the proper meals should be द्विकाल, 2 बार खाना खाना चाहिए. I'm talking about meals, 2 meals a day. इससे पहले भी when to eat, भूख लगे तो खाना खाओ ना. It is not that the time has means 8 o'clock is the breakfast time, 12 o'clock is the lunch time, 4 o'clock is the evening tea time, and 7:38 is the dinner time. Fine, timings are there, but we have to see our eligibility criteria, and the eligibility criteria for food is: are you feeling hungry? भूख है क्या? भूख नहीं है तो क्यों खा रहे हो? This is Ayurveda simple concept. Listen to your body. When to eat and when to drink. भूख लगे तो खाना खाओ, प्यास लगे तो पानी पियो. This concept is not there in Ayurveda, that you get up in the morning and you have 6 to 8 glasses of water in the morning only. पूरे कंठ तक अपना जल भर लो. This is a concept of yoga. And yoga concept says, yes, कंठ तक पानी भरिए सुबह, but then छोड़ मत दीजिए. This कंठ प्रदेश तक पानी भरने का मतलब after that do kunjal. Take it out. We need to do kunjal. ये कुंजल की प्रक्रिया है कि इतना पानी भरे और फिर उसको निकाले. But what do? We just drink and leave it. And उससे what we are actually doing is we are producing difficulty for our systems to now absorb that. And the whole pressure is going to the kidneys, because ultimately filter to kidneys नहीं करना. So therefore, too much of drinking of water again is not the concept, and number of times eating with increased frequency of food is not the concept of Ayurveda. So for general public, it is 2 times a day we need to eat. Uske bhi timings. Pitta ke kaal mein we should eat, and Pitta kaal starts after 10 o'clock in the morning. Therefore, it is said before 10 is your time for natural cleansing. 10 to 2 is the time of Pitta. Pitta is fire. Pitta is fire. So the food which you have eaten gets digested properly if you are eating at the Pitta kaal. So the time of eating first meal is 10 to 2, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whenever you feel hungry, that is the time to eat. Then you should have on an average 8 hours gap between first meal and second meal. I'm saying meal, proper bhojan. 8 hours. If you have eaten at 10 o'clock, the second meal is 6 o'clock. If you have eaten at 11 o'clock, the second meal is 7 o'clock. If you have eaten at 12 o'clock, the second meal is 8 o'clock. That means the last time to eat at night is 8 o'clock, not after 8. It's better to have your dinner till 7. But not beyond 8. But we do not follow this at all nowadays. And there will be a number of questions that we are not able to follow this. But if we want a discipline, we have to use that knowledge. We are very smart to use that knowledge everywhere. Why not for health? How we can use this knowledge? So 2 times a day, we need to have a proper meal. 3 times a day, that person should eat whose either Agni is very strong, Tikshna Agni, or a person is into vigorous sports, being burnt out a lot, or doing lot of physical labor. With that, having a Tikshna Agni, a very strong Agni, for them it is 3 times a day. Yes. If you are feeling hungry more than that, then that means it is a problem. Bhasmak rog ho raha hai. It is a problem. It is a disease. In between 2 meals, now comes your fillings. Fillings are, first filling is water. Just drink water. पानी पीने का तरीका ही आयुर्वेद में ये है, अल्पम अल्पम मुहुर्मुहु, थोड़ा थोड़ा बार बार. This is what is the style of drinking water in Ayurveda. And the other concept also कि खाने के साथ पानी नहीं पीना चाहिए. This also concept is not of Ayurveda. Ayurveda ka starters of Ayurveda is water. That is the starter. Or starter is any dessert, whatever sweet you are having. that is a starter. Even if you want to have fruits, that becomes a starter. Sometimes if you have salad, that becomes a starter. So these are the starters. So we have water should be consumed first, then we have the proper meal, and we end with either cardamom or clove or fennel or bhuna hua papad. These are the things with which we end. Then in between two meals, if you are feeling hungry, first is water, second is fruits, third is drinks, either herbal tea or chach, or nowadays is summer season, different types of sharbats. These are there. Along with those drinks, you can have some dry fruits, like 4 to 5 pieces of almonds. If you want to have that, you can have. So these are the fillings in between. And if you feel too hungry, then you can have some snack. And once a week, indiscipline can be there. We always say that always all days are not disciplined days. Minimum 5 to 6 days, keep a discipline. Once a week, you can enter into a cheat day. So either a cheat day, if your digestive fire is very strong, or a langhan, or rather go to fasting. But for fasting also, person has to be eligible. Fasting means either you are having only liquid diet, or you're having only fruits, or you're having just one meal a day. So these are the types of fastings which we do once a week to keep our system correct. Or nowadays, as it has come out to be the cheat day. So if you are 6 days a week, you are having absolute disciplined food. So once a week, you can have the indisciplined food. But that case will happen only when your Agni is very strong. Otherwise, we go for Langhan. And Langhan is that fasting. But you have to be eligible for fasting. So once we say fasting, everyone starts doing it. But we don't say fasting to diabetic patients. So if a person is diabetic, if a person is already underweight, if you are doing fasting, but you the whole day you don't have energy to do anything, then that means you are not eligible for fasting. Fasting means that you have to be energetic. You have to be energetic. Fasting doesn't mean that your energy loss has to be there. So if you are having hyperacidity conditions or any particular diseases where fasting doesn't suit you, then fasting should not be done. Then we need to arrange the fasting methods, that you are having either one meal a day or you are having these products. So that is customized according to the condition of the person. So this is what Ayurveda says is how many times to eat. That on an average, as we discussed previously also, it depends upon your age, it depends upon your work, it depends that on your prakriti, that then only it depends upon your Agni, your digestive fire status. According to that, we come to how many times to eat. Then the next point was how to eat. This how to eat has become very interesting nowadays. When I see the families, I ask in the families, previously it used to be a custom that the family used to sit together and eat at least one meal a day. Nowadays, the trend has come that everybody takes his or her own plate and goes to his or her own comfort area to have food. That is how we are eating. And as I said, jaise khaye an, jaisa khaye an and jaise khaye an, vaisa ho man. So what we are doing is, in how to eat, we are taking the food and going to our comfort area to eat. Who does like this? Have you seen dogs eating? They take the food, they go to their comfort zone. Then the style of eating we are doing is, we are eating in everybody's plate. We are moving and eating. We are talking and eating. We are looking here and there and eating. And we are moving and eating. Have you seen who moves and eats? Have you seen a pig eating? A pig is always moving, looking here and there, and then eating. Then again, the pig will change the place, go to the other area. So that means our style of eating nowadays, there is no focus on food. Focus is on television. Focus is on work. We are talking and eating. Focus is on studies. Focus is on talking. Now, what will happen is once you are eating, Ayurveda says, कर्मणा बुद्धि, कर्म और मन भोजन में हो. और हमारा मन कहाँ है? कर्म तो है, but मन कहाँ है? We are watching television and suppose ये cricket match आ रहा है और वहां पर छक्का मार दिया उसने. प्लेट हमारे सामने है, आंख हमारी टीवी पर है. Oh, छक्का बज गया. We are very highly motivated in that. And then without seeing my plate, I just put that in my mouth. Maybe उसमें मक्खी आ जाए. Fine. So that food, which is a very pious activity, that food is going to actually build our body. That food is going to build our mind. We don't have time to eat that food in a proper manner. So how we are eating is, हमारा खाना खाने का तरीका पशुवत हो गया है. जूठा हम खाते हैं, चलते चलते हम खाते हैं, बिना फोकस के हम खाते हैं, बातचीत करते खाते हैं. So our style has become like animals. Therefore, our behavior is becoming like animals. Tolerance has decreased. If anybody is saying anything which I'm not liking, I'll pounce like this. I'll pounce like animals. So our mental factors, they are becoming like animals. Just we need to make a change of how many times to eat and how to eat. इसको change करेंगे, so then the things will change. So frequency of meals should always be, for adults, 2 meals a day. For a person who have Tikshna Agni, 3 meals a day. 6 to 7 times or 4 to 8 times is not the concept of Ayurveda. We disturb our digestive system and then we end up into digestive disorders or any other disorders. That's all.
Thank you so much. I think now we can take a few of the participants' questions in the chat box so that we can answer all of them. Should I read that out for them and then you can decide? So the first question is, what about any kind of koshambir, tradition of serving it as a part of thali?
I'll take that question because I googled what koshambir is and I've had it, so I'll take that. So ma'am, if we are looking at koshambir also, and if we look at salad, so salad can be had before food. So when we are talking that this uncooked and cooked food should not be had together, like what I see in Punjabi culture and most of the North Belt, what we do is hum roti kha rahe hain, we are having rice, and along with that we have our salad. So in case you want to have your salad, you can have a little amount before the meal. So it is the starter. You can have it before the meal. Koshambari is also mostly it is served. I have had it in southern part of India. They serve it before the meal. It's the first thing that they serve. And if you're looking at the preparation also, so koshambir is we say in Ayurveda that samskaro hi gunantara dhanam uchyate. Okay, samskar, that means any kind of process that you're doing to the food, it is going to change the quality. So this koshambir, which is a salad of maybe a few, it's kind of a raita you can make, or you can make it with dal, soaked dal, and then you add some cucumber, kheera and things to it. And after that, it is said that they are going to give a chalk. They're going to put some heated oil in that. That heated oil is one process of cooking only. Okay, so it is not completely uncooked. It is a process of cooking itself. And in case it is completely uncooked, you should avoid it. But if you're having it, it should be before the
The next question is, should we give up having tea if it's harmful?
I didn't say tea is harmful. I said tea, basically having black tea after food, a big mug, that should not be done. And tea, if you are having tea, the quantity should be less. See, we are using this, taking the knowledge from the West. And when they consume tea, the tea quantity is less. And even black tea is used in South India. So there also, when they use, the quantity is very less. Our quantity increases. And this quantity we increase in everything, whether we are taking juices or we are taking tea, our quantity becomes more. And if you are consuming the normal tea also, the milk tea, suppose if you are consuming that tea also 2 to 3 cups a day is not harmful, not going to do any problem. But if that tea, the frequency and the quantity is more, number of cups are more and is giving you any problem, then definitely you need to stop it or reduce it. But saying that tea is harmful and we should stop it, this statement is not correct.
All right. So the next question is it okay to have just a glass of water in the morning to activate the digestive juices?
See, first point is system is working. You don't have to activate the system. Systems are already working. And 1 glass of water is not going to activate my system. It is already, we have systems, the autonomic nervous system. So that automatically works. The fridge रात को on है, तो fridge रात को चल रहा है, वो चल रहा है. Similarly, our body is automatically working. The only thing is when we get up in the morning and we drink a glass of water. So water, we say, gives us a sense of satisfaction, security, we feel good. For that case, it is okay. So we can start the day with water. Yes, you can start, but not consuming this and having that it is going to activate my digestive system, not that concept. But yes, we can start the day with water and 1 glass of water here. जितनी आपकी इच्छा है ना, उतना पीजिए. Whether it is 1/4 glass, it is half glass, it is 1 glass. So we cannot say the quantity according to what quantity is good for me. Listen to your body. If your body says only 1/4 glass, just drink that much. But definitely we can start the day with water.
Okay, so the next question is how to improve the digestive system. Age is 40, 8 hours sitting job and 1 hour daily workout like badminton, but the digestion is completely collapsed.
Collapse of digestion means it has a direct role with our food. And in food, what all? What you are eating, when you are eating, how you are eating, how much you are eating, what you are doing before food, and what you are doing after food. All these 6 components are important for digestion process. All. So if the digestion is completely collapsed, in that case, definitely a personal consultation should be there so that we rule out all the causes. But certain things which you can just keep into account. That first is, I always say, कि अगर 2 बार खाना खाने से भी my digestion is completely collapsed, तो 2 की बजाय 1 बार खाना खाएं. 1 बार खाना खाने पर भी if my digestion is completely collapsed, stop eating, just have दाल और सब्जी. अगर दाल सब्जी खाने से भी digestion is collapsed, enter into लंघन. 1 या 2 दिन मत खाएं. Just drink hot water. Don't eat. Because जो अंदर हमारा undigested food matter है, give time to that for getting it digested. So this is how we keep our digestive system okay. Then is what to do after food is very, very important. That after food, sit in Vajrasan, because Vajrasan helps in digestion process. If you can't sit in Vajrasan, just sit with the straight spine. Because Ayurveda says, खाना खाने के बाद ऐसा बैठे जैसे कि महाराजा बैठता है. Sit like a king. Straight spine, just for 10 minutes. After that, just walk, Shatpat Gamanam, 100 steps walk, which is just 10 minutes, not a brisk walk. Then lie down in left lateral position. बाईं करवट में लेट जाएं, because this is again a yogic procedure. Automatic nervous system हमारा है अंदर. जिस करवट में लेटते हैं, दूसरी नासरा चलनी शुरू हो जाती है. If we are lying down in left lateral position, the right nostril starts. Right is hot in nature, helps in further digestion. So this is for the digestion to be okay. 30 minutes resting phase after food. First is sitting in Vajrasana for 10 minutes, then walking for 10 minutes, then lying down in left lateral position, not sleeping. So with these you can correct. If these also doesn't work, then you need a personal consultation.
Okay, how to manage Vishnu Agni in terms of frequency of meals?
Okay, can I answer that? Okay, so firstly, whoever's asked this question, so Vishamagni is it cannot just be managed in terms of frequency of meals. You have to balance your vata, because Vishamagni, the cause is vata. So we need to look at all the 4 factors. It is not important that your Agni is being harmed only by the way you are eating the food or what you are eating. There are these things are affected by the mind. You can have some factors of mind that are affecting it. So we have to rule out the causes from all ahar, vihar, achar, vichar. We will take out the causes from that. What is leading to causation of Vishamagni? That needs to be found, and we need to work on the cause of Vishamagni. Just managing the frequency of meals is not going to help with Vishamagni. Yes, Aditi.
If anybody else wants to unmute and ask the question, they can do that as well.
Meanwhile, I think I'll take the next question also.
Sure.
Says, what is the best way to take curd? So there are 5 basic rules that have been told for the consumption of curd. Curd is a very good thing. We don't say that curd is bad, but yes, there are certain rules to it. So the first rule is that curd should not be consumed at night. Okay, na naktam dadhi bhunji. It should not be consumed at night, because night is the time of kapha, and curd in itself has properties of increasing the kapha dosha, so it should not be consumed at night. Second rule is curd should not be heated. So heating curd, it disintegrates its molecular structure, and therefore it reduces its food value. Therefore, curd should be had without heating. It should not be heated. Third thing is, most people think that curd is cold in potency. We discussed this in the last session also. Curd is not cold, it is hot in nature, and therefore it is not supposed to be consumed in excess. But you can have it once in fortnight or once a month during your summer seasons or the hotter seasons. But otherwise, it's a winter food, and it needs to be avoided during your summer, spring, and autumn seasons. Then the fourth point is curd should not be consumed alone. So there are certain food items which have been told which you can consume with curd. For example, honey. You can mix some honey. You can mix some rock sugar, that is your mishri. Then you can mix Indian gooseberry, your amla. You can mix your ghee, and you can mix green gram soup, जो हमारी green dal होती है. You can mix that. So these things can be consumed with curd. And the last and most important point is that curd should not be consumed every day. So there is a very, very peculiar property of curd, which is called as abhishyandi. Abhishyandi means it has the property to block the channels of the body. So because it has this property, therefore it should not be consumed every day. No doubt it is very nourishing. It gives a lot of strength. It is good for your gut, okay. But still, because of these properties, if you manage your curd intake based on these 5 rules, you will not end up with problems because of curd intake. That is how it is.
There's another question. I have allergy. I get sneezing anytime, especially when there's temperature change. Due to nose problem, I get earwax accumulation a lot, and ultimately problem in hearing. What kind of food I should avoid having?
First is Viruddhahar. Viruddhahar all should be avoided, because Viruddhahar are one of the major causative factors for allergic conditions. So with what all we discussed in Viruddhahar, if you are consuming any of those, then you should stop them. Then if you are consuming any of Vata Vardhak conditions like dry fruits more, dry foods or cold items or ice creams or curd, if you are consuming these, or you are eating a lot of leafy vegetables, sprouts, or salad a lot, if you are consuming all these things, or fruit juices, then you need to reduce them. They should be reduced. And then you should follow the complete dincharya, what we have said, for the Urdhva Jatrugat area. And in that, we have also said the putting of 2 drops of oil in the nose as anutel. So that also should be put. And in allergic conditions, it is very important for the mind to be calm. So we need to work on mind, and yoga meditation also helps, or you play a lot, because as you said, in temperature differences, this is happening. So the mind also has to be calm. If all these things work, it is good. If they don't work, yes, curd also you need to avoid. If they don't work, then definitely we need to go ahead for a personal consultation.
There's just one last question in the chat box. I'm facing excessive blood flow during periods, and after that leukorrhea, I'm feeling too much weak. Age is 41, doing 1 hour yoga every day and having sattvic food.
41 age means we need to first rule out, are we entering into the menopausal age? First thing. Secondly, we need to go for ultrasound and check whether I have any fibroid uterus. Second point. Third is we need to take care of our food and our activities. Am I overburdened with activities the whole day? Am I doing multitasking a lot? If yes, I need to avoid that. Then is in food. Am I a non-vegetarian person? I need to stop non-veg food, eggs, khatti cheeze, tikhe mirch masale, sour, salty and spicy foods I need to avoid. Garam cheeze I need to avoid. I need to take proper rest. Firstly, these things are important. And in food, food should be very light, easily digestible food. This should be there. And as the summer season has come up, we can definitely go ahead with the cooling effects of the things. Like in food, you can put fennel. If you want to have tea, you have tea of fennel, or you have tea of cardamom seeds, or you have tea of mulethi. Mulethi ki chai pijiye. If you want to have tea, then either of these, either ilaichi or mulethi or saunf, these you can use. Rest, you whenever you are preparing tea, use this. You need to drink milk. You need to have ghee, because आपको energy level बढ़ाना है. You need to have sweet taste. That also you need to take, because energy level has to be increased, and you need to go ahead for rest. So these things you need to work upon, and if they work, it is good. If not, then you can go ahead with the ultrasound also. Check whether any fibroids are there, and if yes, then you can come for consultation. And if everything is okay, then also you can come for personal consultations if this much doesn't work.
All right, thank you. I think with that, all the questions, is that all we have? You have to say something.
We've just seen, as always happens in these sessions, that there are plenty of questions, and I'm sure if we continue, there will be more. But then this is not the last session of this type that we are having. I'm sure we'll have you once again, hopefully not after too long. We'll find another occasion to meet once again pretty soon. And the preoccupation with food and other physical factors like exercise, etc., is quite understandable, because we are rooted in the physical. But then the fact is that we are all making mistakes when it comes to physical factors, some because of ignorance and some because of various compulsions of daily life. And therefore, what becomes important is that even these while trying to be as correct as possible in these physical factors, we don't lose of the subtler aspects of the being, the vital and the mental, the prana and the man, and the most important atma. Indriya, man and atma, this is the triad which Ayurveda talks about for staying in good health. So the beauty of the subtler parts is that a little bit there can overcome a lot of negativity or mistakes when it comes to the physical factors. And therefore, while I mean, we should try to be as correct as possible when it comes to the physical factors, we should not forget that by aligning our mind with our deepest self, that is the soul, we will be able to gain much in terms of wellness as well. And without that, paying attention only to the physical factors will not help. For example, sometimes we have a tendency to say that, well, I'm eating as far as possible the right things. I'm doing 1 hour of workout in a gym and trying to sort of count all, I don't smoke, I don't drink, count all the physical factors. But then the person forgets that I'm under stress all the time. And the stress is primarily because of this disharmony between the mind and the soul. That is the level at which the person has not been able to align. And therefore, that's why the person is still suffering from ill health. So while I mean, all that may be good, paying attention to physical factors, but we should not lose sight of it. And somehow the Ayurvedic and the yogic way of incorporating those subtler effects is built into these physical factors. That is why all the mantras and the prayers while doing the yogasanas, starting eating with a prayer, ending the meal with a prayer, and so on and so forth. These are just symbolic of the attitude which should permeate not only our eating and sleeping and exercising, but in fact everything that we do throughout the day. And that is why Dr. Katoch emphasized also keeping away from the 10 sins by observing the 5 Yamas and the 5 Niyamas. So if that is what guides our life, then and then only we can make the best use of the physical factors and achieve true wellness. So with that, we thank both Dr. Surinder Katoch and Dr. Mukta Katoch, and we hope to have them soon again, very soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Just 2 quick announcements. Our next class will be on Monday. That will be a practical session. And tomorrow we will have the usual Friday Yes Talk at 5 p.m. And we will have a speaker talking about how she has actually taken to the balanced life and made life changes, whatever we're talking about in these discussions. So please join in with the same link tomorrow at 5. And for the usual class, we meet on Monday. Once again, thank you to our guest speakers and thank you, everyone. We end with the meditation music. Thank you.